Alright, so this is literally right where we left off on the last one. And we just have to set out the other things. And so we can do this in an arbitrary order now. I should be clear, this is like a very empty mission. But that's okay. Like, that's not what this is about. This is about just showing how it basically operates. So we'll put ourselves here. Oh, that's right. There's already a flight there. And there. So we'll put ourselves behind it. That one kind of sucks to take off from because it gives you noise right at the beginning. And this one is small. Oh, this one's kind of cool. Yeah, no, yeah, we'll take off from up here. And we'll just head south so that we have to turn around back north. And we'll meet up with all the other units. Cool. Make sure we're all good there. Nice. Cool. In our flight pattern, this is just like, because we're not the flight leader, this is what will end up being taken. I'm just going to go super generic. Does not matter at all. Because we're just going to fly around and do whatever we want. And then I want them to land here, and I will have to do that fix that I mentioned in the last video. That'll really just take a second, though. It's kind of annoying that I did that. Just a little self-fail. I'm going to take care of that right now, though. Cool. So now I'll just fly to the end, hit its ingress, and go land. Cool, and so now that's configured. The transport we already configured. The other transport's a little hidden right now. We'll talk about that later. But in just a second, it won't take long. So now we're going to set up these guys. These guys are going to be air attack. So we're going to change their icons. Even though we won't be able to see these at all. We'll just say offensive patrol. We're going to change their types to be an attacking air targets. And we're going to make this attack be a little bit bigger too. You know what? I am actually going to delete that other error. I'll show you what to do about that in a second, and I'm going to copy this. Oh, sorry for that bump. Cool, so now I'm going to decide how they're going to attack. This is their low end, and this is their high. So first, I'm going to determine where these guys are going to go. I'm going to have them attack high down here. These are set to low, so they're still pretty aggressive at this position, and I'm going to pull those back. These should be medium, so they won't really attack, but they will defend themselves. We'll have the medium attacker come kind of here, and also be aggressive out to there. Low attacker here. We're going to make the medium attacker come back even further. And this guy will be kind of a dick and attack even at the airfield. But that's relatively rare and it'd be cool. Cool, so now I can kind of pull out the actual flight pattern from right? And I'll have these guys take off from, like, this is pretty close. But we want this mission to be short and simple. So, yes. Cool, and we'll just have them take off and then go to the left. It'll be cool. And these guys are going to come back and land at the same airfield. So we'll have them land like this. And we'll have them take off in reverse, which is kind of weird, but who cares? Oh yeah, these guys have the same problem exactly. Cool. And then I'm going to change all these units. In fact, let's actually do this like so. Because I want all these guys to be fighters. So it's basically one of these 4 units is like what goes at a time. 202. And then we'll do the E7 because it's so cool with a square wing. It's true, it's so cool. Don't pretend it's not. And what should we do for the last one? Oh, just a regular 109. Do this straight up. Cool. You know, I forget if I actually did that to my transport planes. I know I did it to these A ones, but I can't remember if I did it to these. I didn't. Nice. It sucks when you do that because then they just are crashed. Cool. So these guys are actually all configured. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy them just like that transport was. And then we're getting pretty close. I'm going to leave the front alone maybe right now. Here, I'm actually going to bounce out to my video and see how long this has been going. Oh, yeah, cool. Not long at all. So what I need to do is I need to find the error unit that I deleted, which is this one. As we can tell, it has no connection. That one goes away now. And then this is the other error. Grab like this. I add that guy to the selection. That only works, by the way, when the thing you want to add to the selection is in the top level. Or there's some other restriction like that. I don't know. It's annoying. I honestly, like, there's certain areas where I know the mission area really well, and there's other areas where I just am in the dark. I haven't even, like, fucked with it. Like, I've never touched any of these buttons. I don't know what this surface edit shit is. Whatever. Cool. I'll probably care someday. So now I'm going to do exactly the same thing as we did with the other one, which is I'm going to place it precisely on top after renaming it so I don't get super duper duper confused. So this is really the idea of how you build the missions, is you pull in these modules. They have most of the things configured. Like, this is actually pretty functional already. And then we can start doing things if we want to sequence things in a certain way. Or set up winning conditions. Like, I haven't pulled in the points unit, the thing that you can use to maintain winning conditions. And there's also, like, supply concepts and reconnaissance concepts. A lot of them are, like, pretty built in. And a lot of these things are actually, like, really highly modifiable, too. Here, I'm actually going to name this guy also to be unconfusing. And I'll try to do more and more examples, and hopefully the missions themselves will be pretty good examples. But most people should be able to get it, and I do hope that people use this to build missions. Like, I am more than willing to be helpful on that front. Let's see, where should these guys take off from? I originally wanted these guys to be so different, and now I don't. We'll just have them be further away. Yeah, just like that. Cool. I'm gonna take off this way just for speed again. Boom. Boom. Double checking that I'm not stupid. Shut up. I know. Cool, I'm laying the other way. No, I'm laying the same way. Fuck that. Cool. That is the takeoff in it as well, but it honestly doesn't matter. Cool, and then we're going to move this side of it a bit too. Yeah. Let's definitely do that. Cool. So these guys are now all set up. They're going to take off. They're going to fly. All those things are going to happen. And now all we have left to do really is the front, which is the artillery. I mean, I guess we'll just place that really quickly, but it will be stupid right now. So this is just like straight up artillery, like little tanks guarding it, kind of. We'll just put it in a few places. Semi-sane. This is kind of dumb to do before you put the buildings in, but whatever. We went pretty fast on the last section. That would be pretty cool, actually. Even though absurd, like there's not really artillery would be laid out in an airfield. At least I don't think so. I don't know that well. What the fuck am I talking about? In fact, that was something that I had a lot of trouble with. Is I've really been searching for. I know I don't even know how to look at this stuff, but I wanted like photographs that are relatively close of artillery emplacements to really see how they're like laid out. Like I've seen some stuff. It seemed helpful, but I really wanted more examples, and like whatever. Cool, and this is just a front line marker. It's going to look stupid over there, but I'm just not going to set it right now, because we're kind of kicking ass here. And so now here's all our flavor stuff. So we've got a ship unit. In fact, we'll just open it up and handle these guys one at a time. Right, so we're going to want a rail unit. We're going to want to put this near where we're taking off, because that'll be cool to see, right? So this is really stupid. Like, it literally just makes a train run. But it handles, like, the train restarting after it gets to its stopping point. It handles it getting destroyed and restarting. And that's about it. It's dumb. So we'll put them on the inside. I don't know where that's going to go. This is, even though if you caught me catching on the last one bitching about the stupidity of spawn, this is a spawn situation. I have trains crash for certain reasons. I'm not really sure why. One thing I don't really do that I probably should is set the direction. But I find that like lots of time that doesn't matter. Cool, we'll just have these guys run like this. It can be really cool to like make one of these, copy it, and just barely move it, and then you get kind of like especially for things like trains and ships, it can make kind of like soft formations, I guess I would call it. Cool, I'm on the inside track. You can see that these guys don't really trigger each other in the way that you might think. They trigger back to the controller. But that really doesn't complicate how the system is designed that you can interface. Like, you can very easily interface. Like, we could totally just build out random shit and interact with it pretty clearly and pretty simply. My hope is that people could even add little components of this to their existing missions in helpful ways. Again, I am like way more than interested in aiding in any of that kind of stuff. Can't really decide where to put this exactly, so my mouse was being a pain in the ass. We'll put this guy up here, and they'll kind of overlap just a touch, maybe. I can't really remember where I put it. I'll just put them on the inside track and I'll be totally safe no matter what. Or the outside track. Well, which one's the inside? Which one's the out? Cool. And this is really just about the end. Obviously, there would be more to do to make things nice. And I'm going to skip at the end of this video the adding of the buildings. You guys can figure that shit out on your own. It's not fun. It takes fucking an eternity. But whatever. And you don't add all the buildings. Here, we'll have this guy's, since it's on that outside run out. It'll be cool. Cool. But I think you can see how this is intended to simplify your life, even though I'm sure that this looks as tedious as it could look. Cool. But then that one's in place. And then we'll place the vehicle. And I'll show the vehicle, this one vehicle, and the ship. And we'll put this one near us too, where we're taking off. That'll be cool. Now, the vehicles do things a little bit differently, and that's why I want to show it, is that they go out and then they just circle forever. So it really is just one unit. And so I can have it come out like this. It's going to go to right here. And it's going to need to be able to come back there. And I think that it can. Oh, no, that could be a hard one. So this is obviously a limitation. But it's not a really hard one to deal with most of the time. This is actually more a hard one because of how many opportunities there are. We'll go here. Here. Yeah, okay, cool. This is a good one. God, I suck. That's not exactly right, but it'll work well enough. And you get the idea. So you just make a circle with that. And it'll just keep running that cycle. And that one will actually work. It'll just be a little ugly and probably crash sometimes. For these guys, it's the same exact thing. It's going to go in a cycle. And it's mostly just about setting the formation. It'll follow the formation you set it at. So I'll have this guy rolling on the inside. That way I can put these guys to the outside. Cool. And that'll just run in that cycle. And then we would set the other vehicle. And then that's really it. You'd go and you'd do your atmosphere option. You'd set in your buildings. And I'm just going to put in those final units, place that final vehicle and that final rail a little more carefully. Add the buildings. And then I'll show you in the next video it loaded up so you can see what's in there.